Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. I'm the most intelligent, smartest short squeeze investor in the entire world right here. So you have to look no further because all the answers are right here in this video, guys. I am Hootmoney, bringing you guys the LGVN Longeveron short squeeze analysis. This stock has around 100% short interest. Absolutely redonkulous. We're going to be taking a look at this stock, giving it an overview, see how far this thing could rocket. Maybe it's done. Maybe it's done. I can't tell you guys that yet because that would be spoiling the surprise. But maybe this thing's over with. So if you guys don't mind dropping that early like on the video, subscribe for more content, and hitting that post notification bell down below, that's very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. All right, so here is Longeveron right here. You guys can see this thing rocketed up from about $8 a share all the way up to about $45 a share, crashing down all the way to about $14 a share, coming back up all the way to about $35 a share, now sitting at around $24 a share, up 42% on the day, with about 58 million in total volume. Now, it's been using this 50 as a little bit of a bouncing point. Boom, 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 boom. And we have a bit more volume on today. The parabolic day had a lot of volume as well, so we're getting close to those numbers. We can go over to my screener right here, and we can actually see this has, out of $0 to $5 billion in market cap, this has the 6th most amount of volume on the day. So that is very, very nice. If we do a different analysis here, we can bring on the RSI and MACD. It is looking like it can actually fall a little bit more. The MACD is coming down a little bit. Same with the RSI right there. Throwing on the Bollinger Bands. Boom, boom. We're going to get rid of the moving averages. It just hit the upper side of the Bollinger Band, so it could potentially come back down as well. So it's not looking like the perfect entry point on Longeveron just from a technical standpoint. Let's do a Fibonacci retracement as well to get a full overview of where this thing could potentially go, and we're going to be looking at market Cipher as well. So it's actually right at a fib level right now, so we'll see if we can get a bounce from there. But these fib levels have not been working too well with Longeveron, so I would not look too deep into this, but it does look like if it does settle down at a fib level, it would be at this $19.34 level. So if you guys wanted to check out this charting software, do all this technical analysis, you can also look at news, financial statements, analyst ratings, order flows. There's no analyst ratings on this stock. Level 2 data, anything you guys want. You want to have a major, awesome, huge watch list looking at every single stock and cryptocurrency that is moving now. How about an overview of the global markets? You guys can check out WeBull. Promotion is on the screen right now. They're giving away up to $2,300 in free stock just for depositing at least 1 penny on their platform. So if you want to have good stock analysis and if you want to get free money, I mean, I like free money, you probably like free money. If you want free money, sign up for WeBull. Links are below in the description or pinned comment section. But without further ado, let's get right back into it. So as you guys can see right here, we have an article, why did Longeveron just spike? You guys can see that Longeveron stock price shot up by triple digits in a single session. The company's core Lomocel B therapy has made significant progress in the path to gain US FDA approval. Longeveron was, I call it Longeveron, but I'm sure it's actually pronounced Longeveron, but I just like calling it Longeveron, so it's like you're going long on a stock. Okay, never mind. I digress. Was granted rare pediatric disease designation for Lomocel B. So this was the catalyst that has absolutely sent this thing to the absolute roof. You guys can see that it doubled in value on this major FDA announcement. Absolutely insane right here. Now, if we're taking a look at the Ortex data right here, you guys can see that they issued 3 squeeze signals. One of them was last week. 2 of them were yesterday. Now, can this thing squeeze, guys? Can this thing squeeze? Did it already squeeze? We're going to figure that out right now. First thing right off the bat, you guys going to see only 2.55 million shares are being shorted, and that brings us to a 94% current short interest of free float. So that's pretty high. I mean, almost 100% short interest, but again, that's a very low number. If we go back here to WeBull, you guys can see that boom, the actual free float is only 2.27 million shares. So that's an absolute micro float. It's saying that about 2.93 million shares are now on loan. That's actually an improvement. So they've actually somehow managed to put some more shares out on loan, and that actually seems like it exceeds the float. And all of this is why the cost to borrow is so high. It's a micro float. A lot of people want to short the stock, and that brings up the cost to borrow. Again, the utilization right here almost at 100%, as close as you're going to get to 100%, up from about 40%. So this all happened within essentially the last week right here. Now, what's really important to note is the volume compared to this short interest. So it's about 2.5 million shares currently being shorted. The volume on today is about 60 million. We'll round it up there. So we bring out our handy dandy calculator. We do 60 million divided by 2.5 million shares being shorted. That means that the float has been traded, or the short interest has been traded over 24x as of today, meaning that there is liquidity for short sellers to exit without necessarily breaking up the price. And that essentially means that the days to cover figure right here is very, very low. If we bring up the 2 weeks days to cover, it's even lower right here at 0.21, getting to a low of 0.11 as of Friday. Majority of the volume on this stock has come in the past few days, and volume, there's just going to be a lot of people trading this stock regardless. There's going to be people buying this stock hoping for a squeeze, right? Then a squeeze might not come, or they're day trading it, they're taking profits. That's all exit liquidity that you are providing for short sellers. So at this point, with only 2.55 million short interest, getting an actual significant short squeeze, yes, I do believe that shorts will cover, but actually getting a very large, massive price action movement to the upside, hundreds of %, I think the ship has sailed in that category. We can also check out Fintel right here. It's marked in the 30s right here, so you can see 34 on the short squeeze leaderboard. So a short squeeze obviously is possible. I think shorts are probably going to exit this stock at some point, but at the end of the day, will it create a massive volatile price movement to the upside? I doubt it. I doubt it, because there's just such little amount of shares being shorted. It's extremely difficult to short this stock. One thing that is actually important that I missed before, though, is that there's no options trading on this. So this could definitely continue this this trend that we have going here. If we throw those moving averages back, we saw it was bouncing off the 50. So because there's no options, I don't think a break in trend is also likely. I think this could continue to trend up just because there's no options. Once options are added to this, that is time to run. We have seen that many times before. A stock will be trending upwards, and then they'll just add options. We've seen it with Rivian. We've seen it with DWAC. So this is a type of stock that could definitely continue to trend upwards without the use of derivatives, without the use of options. But once options are added, it could get a lot more dangerous. So just know that when investing, watch out for options being played on this. You guys can see this thing spiked up as of November 18th. What I thought was really weird with the short volume is that the short volume was high before any of the actual volume came up on the stock. You guys can see that it spiked up here on 11/18, but even on 11/16, it was still at 44% short volume and 49% short volume right here. So the short volume was already pretty high. It also had some failure to deliver problems back here in April, but as of recently, it has not been too bad. It picked up a little bit there towards the end of September and beginning of October. I'm sure there's tons of failures to delivers going on in the stock right now. It is not currently a threshold security, or else it would have a T right here, but perhaps it will be put on that list at some point in the future. The last thing I want to do before we clock out here is take a look at the market Cipher analysis, because market Cipher does technical analysis better than anyone I know. It's actually pretty perfect. It gave a buy signal right here last night in after hours when this thing was around 17, so you could have swung it for 17, sold it for 33. It's pretty good at that. It actually just issued a sell signal, so this likely will be trending downwards according to the market Cipher. Essentially what market Cipher does is it gives these waves, right? So you'll see these blue waves and they'll look something like this, right? Wave like this, wave like this. All right, so the brief overview of how this works is that if there's a big blue wave and then a small blue wave, that would mean that it trends downwards, right? So you get a little retracement right there. Boom. If the diagonal line is pointing to the downside, so we can see that right here on this chart, it's pointing to the downside. That is a short sell signal right there. Now, it has not added it here to the hourly chart, but it did give that sell signal for the long position right there on the current hour, which means it will likely trend downwards. Now, if we do look at the overall trend, if we just delete some of this right here, we can see that it will likely just come back down to the previous trend line, which is probably right here. So if you're looking for an entry on this position right now, the money flow is looking healthy. You're just going to have to wait for it to come back down to this line. It would be probably likely around $19 to $20 per share at the best entry. And as long as this money flow is looking in the green, I think this could trend upwards. Just watch out for those options being added. If options are added onto the stock, that could be bad news bears, because a lot of the times when a stock is trending upwards, it gets ruined once options are added into the stock. And especially with a stock like this, which could barely be shorted at this point, it's extremely hard to short it, and there's no options. It's likely going to keep trending upwards until there is options. That's just how I see it right now. Again, money flow is looking green there on the hourly. We can look at the 4-hour chart starting to come into the blue, into the green here as well on some longer time frames. If we go to the 15-minute chart right here, you guys can see that it actually gave a short sell signal right here around $30 per share, around like $29, $30 per share. It's at $24 a share right now. So I do, in fact, trust Market Cipher. Also would have given a long signal right here, right before the run-up yesterday. So I do trust Market Cipher's analysis here. I do think there's a little bit more pain before it gets better. But if you're looking for an entry, the easiest way to do this is pull up that 50 moving average right here and wait for it to touch down at that base. Come into my Discord channel, ask me for an overview, let me look at the Market Cipher. I can confirm if you have a good entry, yada, 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 whatever. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. This was my video on Longeveron. I do think this thing can continue to trend upwards as long as we don't get options on the stock. Options are what can just ruin a bunch of short squeezes. Options are typically not the best. We've been going over this stock on stream. It is not one that I have been personally playing. So if you're interested in playing it, do it at your own risk. Understand that I'm not in this stock, which means that I pretty much have nothing to gain or lose from making this video, meaning that I have a pretty honest opinion. So when I say that we will probably continue to trend upwards once it hits that 50 moving average, I mean it, right? Because there's no options on the stock. Obviously, it has high short interest. Not that I think that matters that much, but I do think something like this can trend upwards because it's not going to be as manipulated by short sellers or by options. That is literally the only reason right now. I'm not thinking that a massive short squeeze can happen. I'm literally thinking that this stock is less likely to be manipulated than other stocks, which is why it can trend upwards. But again, guys, short term, it does look like it's going to come back to that 50 moving average. So be patient and wait for a good entry. It is not financial advice. It is just my opinion. I'm probably not going to be making a play on it myself. If you do want to see my trades, you can check that first link in the description to get my trade alerts. And that's about it. I'll be seeing you guys later. Also, check out WeBull. Links again in the description, pinned comment section. Free money. Check it out. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Hootmoney, the most intelligent short squeeze analyst in the game, is now out. See you guys later. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Peace.